The SASL program, of course, is an international study abroad program geared towards Marquette students, and it's also offered to outside students.
You live with 19 students in a house, in K house, where you guys all go to UWC a few days a week, and then you're all assigned to different service learning sites.
The classes that I was taking when I was in South Africa were very interesting, but they wouldn't have meant anything unless I had the service learning component to the work I was doing. So those two things went hand in hand.
We are placed at different sites. Some are at schools, some are in arts programs, some are in a community foundation or an NGO.
The students live together in one place because when they are in one place, they are able to, on an ongoing basis, to discuss their challenges, their fears.
19 people, one house, one kitchen. Toughest thing I've ever done in my life, best thing I've ever done in my life. Made some of my best friends. You live with each other, you help each other out. It's awesome from that standpoint.
Like when we come from our sites, it's an outlet of conversation and letting out our feelings, and everyone is understanding and they can get where we're coming from. So being able to converse about everything that's going on and that we're experiencing here in South Africa was helpful in K-House.
So what differs the South African Service Learning Program from other study abroad programs is there is a huge stress on the service aspect in the country that we're going to.
They offload a lot of work that I'm doing by myself alone. Sometimes I felt like it's too much for me, and as soon as they get here and I'll just tell them what to do, and they will do it, and they go for an extra mile, to be honest. And they are always eager to learn.
And so for us, it's about the impact that is done with the particular organization, growing the organization, changing lives of the young people, whether immediate or in the long term, or setting up the systems such that the organization can then take forward.
I definitely recommend studying abroad. It is a life-changing experience no matter where you go.
It just pushed me to get out of my comfort zone altogether and inspired me to keep traveling.
Immersing yourself in putting yourself in an unfamiliar environment, and not only that, but the program really forces you to process.
You're going to learn a lot about yourself and about different cultures and different surroundings.
It was a cross-cultural experience where I was forming relationships with people from another culture, people who spoke a different language, people who lived in a different, a completely different environment than me, and forming those relationships both personally and professionally. That was a really, really good experience for me.
Some people, I think, would say they came here and they didn't really know what they wanted to do with their major, and they left going, I want to go into the Peace Corps, or I'm going to go into the Jesuit Volunteer Corps.
And really was a launch pad for me. I'd always thought that I wanted to live abroad and work abroad permanently. And once I had that experience on South Africa, it was just a confirmation for me. This is what I want to do. And I ended up serving for 3.5 years in Sao Paulo, Brazil, as a lay missionary.
I came in thinking that I wanted to go into grad school for clinical psychology. Then these kids came into my life, and I honestly don't know what I want to do now, because I know that I want to keep working with the youth, and I know I want to keep doing some type of work with them, but I just don't know how. And I think that's something that I need to go home and reflect to.
Because the other part of my volunteering, the NGO aspect, and that was the aspect that was absolutely not planned. It has been very stressful, it has been very rewarding, and I think I've kind of fallen in love with it.
I want to say thank you, Frankie and Celeste, for teaching us. You've taught us that we must have self-esteem, and you taught us that we must respect others, and thank you.